Most cameras that we use and test are traditional video cameras, but in this video I will take a look at the QooCam Ego from Kandao, which is a compact 3D camera that directly outputs side-by-side footage in MP4 and is compatible with most VR headsets and online platforms. But even without any other gear or post-production, it's possible to view the files in the intended way because the camera comes with a clip-on viewer to watch the captured footage in 3D. Shooting stereoscopic video usually requires two cameras that are placed precisely next to one another. This filming process, plus an advanced post-production, has made 3D filmmaking rather time-consuming and expensive. That's also why the QooCam Ego has a unique position in the camera market, because pretty much no other manufacturer offers 3D recording and viewing in a compact package that is affordable and easy to operate, even for people who are not professional video shooters or editors. The camera housing has a silicon layer which allows for a good grip. There are 5 physical buttons on the device, but most settings can be accessed and changed via the touchscreen. The responsiveness is good and the controls and settings are easy to navigate and change. The maximum screen brightness is impressive, but keep in mind that this will affect the battery life, so unless when really needing it, I would recommend dimming the screen. The camera can get warm after a while, but there is a dedicated setting to either keep the recording running or to stop it. The removable battery can be charged in the camera via USB-C, either with the door opened or removed. The device records in 1080p per lens, which results in a 3D video resolution of 3840 x 1080 at 30 fps and 60 fps with a bitrate of 60 Mbps. Currently there are no picture profile settings available, so it's not possible to adjust the noise reduction, colors or contrast, but the Ego features exposure compensation and most of our footage was captured between -0.3 and -0.7 to avoid the sky from being too bright or the highlights from being blown out. There is no internal storage, so the files are being saved onto a micro SD card. When filming with the Ego in 3D, there are a few things to keep in mind. In general, I would recommend slow camera movement, since viewing 3D is more tiring to the human eye. While it's possible to activate stabilization in the QooCam software, which works well most of the time, it can also make sense to use a gimbal to get smooth walking shots or do locked-off shots with a tripod. The focus can be set manually by choosing from 6 different presets, but the latest firmware update also features autofocus and touch focus. While pretty much all settings are adjusted automatically, which makes a lot of sense, I would certainly appreciate it if Kandao would implement a professional mode that allowed for manual adjustments of all settings. Although at first I wasn't sure about the so-called viewer actually being anything else than a gimmick, I was positively surprised by the experience. The device has 37 pixels per degree, which is almost twice as much as most virtual reality headsets. When looking directly into the viewer, it really feels like 3-dimensional space, since there's a clear separation between foreground and background. The main advantage of using this clip-on device is certainly that no post-processing is needed and the footage can be watched in 3D right after filming. The footage can be edited and adjusted either in the QooCam Studio desktop software or the dedicated mobile app. The files can be sent directly to a smartphone via hotspot, and the app also features basic video editing functions. There is no manual stitching necessary, since the camera saves one H.264 MP4 file that features footage from both lenses and can either be viewed in 3D or 2D. The mobile app can also be used to remotely monitor and control the camera while recording. The challenge of this camera is finding the right balance between being easy to use, which is the main reason to get this device, but also the possibility to adjust certain settings manually to make it more appealing for more experienced video creators. I think the manufacturer has done a solid job in making technology available that a lot of people could never get their hands on due to the technical barrier, but also the high investment. If you want to learn more about easy 3D video production and are interested in giving the QooCam Ego a try, make sure to follow the link in the video description.